A Harvard professor stripped of her tenure. She is not happy about this. There's a lawsuit flying around back and forth. The Harvard faculty saying she violated her ethical obligations, and so now she's saying, I didn't, you're violating your ethical obligations. And it's this internal battle, and it is a lot of fun. Here's what the New York Post is reporting on this woman. You see her right here. She is getting stripped. Francesca Gino. They call her a celebrated behavioral scientist at Harvard. She works for the business school. Her work was focused on dishonesty, and she was fired for basically dishonesty. Here's the background. A renowned Harvard professor was stripped of her tenure. An investigation found she fabricated multiple studies that were focused on dishonesty. It's just amazing. She lied about her honesty studies. Gino is a celebrated behavioral scientist. She was let go. The governing board determined she tweaked observations in 4 studies so that her findings boosted her hypotheses. Just a liar. Tweaked them? Harvard administrators notified business faculty that Gino was out of a job. There was a closed-door meeting this past week. She's suing. It's a whole deal. Harvard did not detail her firing or her tenure being stripped, citing it as a personal matter, but they told the news that the school had not revoked a professor's tenure in decades. No professors have had their tenures revoked at Harvard since the 1940s. Now she did. The Post has also reached out to them. She is a Ivy League professor. She's authored over 140 scholarly papers. Yeah, you mean Claudine Gay authored her papers? She got numerous awards. She'd come under scrutiny in 2023 when a trio of behavioral scientists published a series of blog posts on this website called Data Colada with evidence accusing 4 of her papers as having fraudulent data. A preliminary investigation into her work was launched back in 2021 following concerns about a study that she co-authored that claimed requiring individuals to sign an honesty pledge at the beginning of a form rather than at the end significantly boosts honest responses. Okay, so before you're going to fill out this form, I promise to be honest. Does that turn into actual honesty? I don't know. Let's ask the liar and see what she says. The study was definitively retracted in 2021 due to evidence of data fabrication. Maybe she should have filled out an honesty form before she lied to everybody in her fake studies, which relied on 3 separate lab experiments to support its findings. The same 3 behavioral scientists identified evidence that 3 other studies in the same paper appeared to rely on manipulated data. They probed her. Allegations were conducted against her. In 2023, the probes, Gino and people worked for her were interviewed. Faculty was there. They analyzed data, emails, and manuscripts. They even brought out a forensics firm. When asked about the issues with her work, Gino asserted that issues with her work may stem from errors by her, just errors, and no, that's not fraud, we're not lying about anything, or research assistants, or there could be someone tampering with my data. Malicious intentions. I'm under attack. However, investigators rejected those theories. The Ivy League school placed her on unpaid leave, began termination proceedings. She sued. Investigators also suggested that the university audit Gino's work and requested retractions for 3 of her papers. As the investigation was underway, she denied the allegations. She said, "This is one thing I know for sure. I did not commit academic fraud. I did not manipulate data to produce a particular result. I did not falsify data to bolster any result, and I did not commit the offense I'm accused of, period." All right. Now, Gino, and are you supposed to end your sentences with a preposition? I don't think so, Harvard. Gino, whose behavioral research studies relating to cheating, lying, and dishonesty received widespread media coverage, she filed a $25 million lawsuit against Harvard. She's like, "How dare you attack me?" In court filings, Gino claimed reputational damage, emotional damage too, along with loss of income and other career opportunities for being a liar. Harvard shared their case. And while my lawyers have discouraged me from speaking out, I just need to say that I did not ever engage in academic fraud. Well, that's not what Harvard says. Once I have the opportunity to prove this in the court of law, you'll see why their case is so weak. A federal judge in Boston dismissed her defamation claim. So you can't sue for that. The judge ruled that the professor was a public figure. So people can criticize your work if we want to.